is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 6, Episodes 13 and 14, Dead Things and Older and Far Away. In these episodes, I felt really gross. At least after the first one. The second one was fine.
You're playing fast and loose with this.
Why?
It's all good.
Okay, fine. Welcome to Unscrupled. Well, howdy there, bitches.
Hey there, money.
Yeah, we watched some Buffy a couple nights ago.
Yeah. And
I don't know why people are surprised by that, and we have to announce it every goddamn time.
you know, I think you're letting talking to consumers mess with your head. Anyway, so we don't have to announce it, but we do, because it's fun.
Yes.
Let's go with it.
There might be new listeners where this is their first episode. Well, they will start more than halfway through Season 6 in a 7-episode series.
Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, Dead Things was fucked up.
I don't like this episode really has a tone problem. They've laid the groundwork that these three are just dumbasses who are stupid and are not competent enough to execute anything, but then they have to go and do this rape/murder that is just as dark as you feel it is, and it's you're trying to hang a lampshade on it, but it's not working, man. I'm still grossed out.
So here's the thing. This has gotten more horrifying as I've gotten older.
Uh-huh.
This shit flew in the early thousands. Yeah.
But, she specifically says it's rape, right?
Yeah.
And
you saw how Jonathan and...
And nothing is more offensive than calling a rapist a rapist. I don't know if you've ever, been around men.
have I ever been around people who I knew to be rapists and then confronted them with
No, I mean just
rapists?
being around men.
Yeah.
Rapists are way too fucking sensitive when people call them out. They need to, go back to your fucking safe space, dude. This is the real world. We're gonna call you what you are.
I think they don't want to believe what they are. Yeah, which is worse.
I do think they believe it. I think they believe it, and they don't want to be judged for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Uh-huh.
How far down this rabbit hole can we go? Let's stop. Did you see how Andrew and Jonathan kind of looked shocked in that moment? Okay, the idea of willing sex slaves is great until you remember that, women are people, maybe? And that's
strained. Great. That part strained credulity to me because, having been a person who has been on the internet before, that these two MRA assholes would immediately get violent once that word came out.
Are we sure they're both straight?
I mean, yeah, but there are terrible gay men, too. Even terrible closeted gay men.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's...
I know, but...
it's just my experience that even if they're not rapists, the rapist-adjacent people will start to get really angry and violent in defense of a rapist because you are impugning them by proximity.
Well, you saw how they did get angry, but they got angry at Warren.
Right, and I think they would have gotten angry at her.
Yeah, I think they'd eventually be angry at her, but first they needed to be angry at the person who... It
feels half-assed, and I don't think they've earned that these two are horrified at what they've done. They'd be a lot... I feel like it would be a lot more real and a lot more visceral and a lot more honest if they were mad at her for calling it. Right? This would, as horrifying as it is, if those two were yeah, fucking bitch, afterward, would have made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, but remember this is a fantasy series, and I think Joss wanted to show that some men were redeemable? Question mark?
No question mark. Men suck, guys.
Yeah.
I'm officially a turncloak on men. Because...
You gender traitor.
Yep. Like, I can't do it anymore. You know? Like, we're just terrible.
Okay. Well...
I'm embarrassed to be associated with the gender I present as. It's...
Well, I feel that, and I understand where you're coming from. I think this is more about what Joss was trying to convince young women of the early aughts about men. And I think his message was that sometimes guys are accidentally rapey. We should forgive them.
Fuck you, Joss.
To that I give a hearty fuck you, Joss.
Yeah, I do not give a single solitary shit about the message that Joss was trying to send to young women in the 90s.
Oh, I think we should absolutely talk about the message that is in this episode. That Joss was trying to send. Holy crap, there's just so much... Oh god, it's so toxic on every level. Even the stuff that's good is toxic.
So yeah, with that and with the tone problem and with just where the show kind of is, I'm just like, I don't feel good about this episode at all.
No.
It feels like that episode in the middle of season 4 of 6 Feet Under where it spends like half an hour on David getting carjacked.
Yeah, that was the worst.
That was terrible.
Everyone was so angry about that.
I remember turning that off and we were like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's make this poor gay guy smoke crack and get mugged and not get shot. And I'm like, yeah, this is like...
It's like, did you forget what show you are?
Yeah, it was not good. So, yeah, the 3 chuckle fucks are we calling them the rapey fucks now? The chuckle rapists?
I don't care. They don't deserve a name.
Yeah, these 3 assholes are experimenting with new ways to become supervillains, and they decide that they want to get some sexing on, and they think the proper way to go about this is to find a cheat code.
It's like, guys, you've got money. You can buy women. You could buy their time for an hour, and then they'll go the fuck
They don't
away.
have money. They live in that fucking basement because that's all they can afford. The 3 of them put together.
Oh, no, dude. They've, like, robbed stuff. They've got cash.
Yeah, but they spent the diamonds on stupid invisibility guns and shit.
Okay, maybe they're broke, but whatever. Still, they know how to steal cash. They could get money and then, not have to enslave people.
It has overtones of the game. Are you familiar with that piece of shit?
Oh god, is that like The Secret only for
rapey men?
For rapey men?
Yeah, it's like all about how to gaslight women, and I've heard people read passages of it, and it's not only terrible and evil, but it's also absurd. Like, this would never fucking work. Like, you don't pause in the middle of fucking a woman and go slam the door and say, I'm the only thing protecting you from rapists outside. That's not going to work. So, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know it was that ridiculous.
Oh, it's fucking off the wall. Like, part of me wants us to, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't think you have the stomach for it, but I kind of want to, like, do a podcast chapter by chapter and just, like...
Oh, I do
this
that.
This is fucking stupid.
I do that hard.
Also, like, it's super expensive. It's like $60.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's sold to young men as, like, this is how you can get laid. And they have jackasses like Roosh V, who does these tours where he writes these blogs about all the people he's fucked. And you know he's lying. And he clearly describes a rape in Denmark.
Oh, God.
And the only thing I take solace in is I think he's completely full of shit, and I don't think he got laid at all.
He's just a gifted storyteller.
Or not even that. It's strange credulity to me. But what I'm kind of getting at here is there is a market for young misogynist men to have a cheat codes to get their dicks wet.
Yeah.
And that's what this is trying to invoke. So.
So yeah, they get a cheat code and invent some kind of device that apparently invokes mind control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've gone, like, they've graduated from trying to turn invisible to watch bikini waxes, and I kind of wish they'd succeeded because they'd probably never want to see a vagina again after that.
Well, you don't see much vagina in bikini wax. It's mostly the vulva, but okay. And honestly, I feel like this episode is just a window into the birth of some red pill sons of bitches.
Yeah, I mean, they were born a lot earlier. I feel like this is them hitting puberty.
Okay. But yeah, it was just... They're just so mean. And I don't understand where this is coming from. Right. They weren't like this before.
Yeah.
This tone thing, you're on it. It's fucked up. And this is no one's favorite episode. Everyone just kind of pretends it didn't happen to us.
See, and that's kind of what bugs me a little about what little I know of the Buffy fandom, is that I know people have their guns out for Beer Bad.
Yeah.
But Beer Bad knew exactly what it was, and didn't try to pretend to be anything different. Also, I find Buffy punching a guy who was a dick to her a lot more satisfying than her brooding for 2 years over a vampire who won't fuck her anymore. So, like, I actually like Beer Bad. It's not a great episode, but it's fine for what it is. Whereas something like this is like let's go super dark and show how there's evil in people you wouldn't expect. And like, no, I fucking expected this because men are fucking terrible.
Okay.
It's just gross, and I didn't want to watch it, you know?
So there's another part of this episode that is super tone shift, fucked up weird. Mm-hmm. And it's the Buffy Spike thing.
Yeah.
Like, they took all of her broody shit and all of the kinky sex stuff they were gonna show us, which was not a lot. We saw, like, bits here and there. And they cranked it up to 11. What the fuck, episode? Holy... Like, I mean...
I'm mostly offended that the television producer's idea of kinky sex is handcuffs.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, like...
Ooh, that's danger sex right there.
And I see it everywhere, too. Like, there's... Friends had the final episode where they find handcuffs in Phoebe's room and they slowly deduce that it was their grandmother's, and I'm like, this is really fucking tame.
Yeah.
It's like, they think wearing handcuffs... Spike wasn't even fucking cuffed to anything.
Nope.
He just had his hands over his head and they were cuffed together.
Seriously, you could very easily put an anchor bracket in his headboard. I mean, that's not even hard.
Or at least behind his back, under his butt, so he's actually lost some control of movement.
Yeah, some mobility.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It doesn't work if, like, they can still do everything.
Yeah, like, but again, early aughts, and, so there's a whole section of America that doesn't know about, like, you know, suspending people from piercings, so...
They don't have to go that far.
Okay.
Just
maybe a flogger.
a gag.
A ball gag.
I feel like ball gags are too closely associated with rape after Pulp Fiction, so...
That's fair. And Deliverance.
I haven't seen Deliverance.
Neither have I, but I know that it's got a gimp rape scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like, guys, it's associating bondage, which they're using these handcuffs as a shorthand for kinky bondage sex. Mm-hmm. And then they're associating it with this incredibly toxic relationship between Spike and Buffy. And I'm just not here for any of these connections that you're trying to draw, show.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. I'm also not okay with the amount of slut-shaming Buffy is doing to herself.
Yeah. I mean, that was
seriously.
real. Like, I get that, and that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it totally does. But I get that we weren't woke at this point, but I really wanted Tara to say, baby girl, if you need to get some in order to work through this thing where you came back from the dead, and if it needs to be some weird, kinky vampire lovin', then get some.
Yeah.
It's okay. Work through your pain, girl. Write that out.
The only way out of this Spike phase is through it.
Yeah. You can't walk away because you'll be fiending. You have to do so much you get sick of it and
you have
it's boring.
to ride the ride.
Yeah. We've all had that lover. That lover that just did it so good, scratched that itch so nice during that one particular point in our life. And then that point was over and it didn't work anymore and we bailed.
Yes. There is some shade being thrown in this room at the both of us, by the both of us. So.
Yeah. Sometimes at ourselves, sometimes at each other.
Yeah, we're giving each other some side eye with like every word we say, but all of them apply to both of us equally. So.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you gotta just fuck it out of your system.
Yeah. Also, I do not like that Tara is back.
Why not?
Because I want her to go and be safe and away from Buffy drama and Buffy-related adjacent shenanigans.
And live on a farm with kitties.
Just somewhere else where danger is like fighting demons and murder is not a thing. Transfer to UCLA, for fuck's sake. Go hang out with Cordelia. I am totally up for shipping these two.
Oh yeah, because Cordelia's so fucking safe.
I mean...
Uh-huh.
Angels has lost 0 employees. Except for Doyle, but we won.
And how many employees has
The Buffy crew lost?
The Scooby Gang lost?
They've lost a lot of people in their orbit.
Well, yeah, but so's Angel.
Okay.
So, anyway.
I mean, fucking Leslie's still alive. Like...
Yeah. But Lauren's club has been blown up twice.
Yeah.
They destroyed businesses, and that destroys lives.
Okay, so yeah, stay away from LA, too. She could go to UCSF.
Yeah! I'm sure
Could
there's
hang out
nothing,
with the drag queens.
I'm sure there's nothing weird in San Francisco.
I mean, there's lots of weird. You know what there's not? Demons.
Demonic.
It's too cold for them up there.
Oh, man. It would be the best if one of your drag queens was also a demon.
I
was really
fully
mad.
believe that one of them is.
And it's going to be so mad at you. Don't you believe in intersectionality?
Let's not make fun of that word. So
yeah, I know. Sorry, intersectionality.
Yeah, Tara, get out of here. Like, I know that you don't have any friends outside of the Scooby Gang.
No, she didn't.
And as much as I wanted you to get the friends in the divorce, you didn't. So get out of here. And, like, I don't like that she's still around.
Yeah.
So, what else happens in this episode? We have, Anya looks really good in that red dress.
Yeah, she does. Oh.
Yeah.
And we have some wedding planning happening, which is good to see, because I was just a little bit afraid they weren't working hard enough on this thing.
Yeah.
Dawn's learning to waltz. Buffy feels abandoned. Somehow, some way, Warren just happens to have a French maid outfit.
Oh, another thing that they associate with kink. And I'm like, no.
Role play.
It was
dressing
funny.
up. We're gonna make some obvious parallels between rape culture and Buffy's relationship with Spike, which, while fucked up, is not rape. She says yes. She goes to him. He gives her every opportunity to leave and makes sure to get verbal consent most of the time.
Consent is sexy. But mostly I'm just mad that their idea of kinky is this fucking maid outfit.
Yeah.
That looks like it's from the Clue board game, you know?
It really did. Good spot.
The only good use of that was the Bud Light commercial in the 90s. So,
Ooh.
do you remember that?
No, but I want to.
Okay, so there's a woman, she's calling her husband at work, and she says, when someone gets home tonight, someone is going to be wearing a French maid's outfit. And then it shows her getting ready, and she's wearing a French maid's outfit, and she opens the door, and there's her husband wearing a French maid's outfit, and he's like, oh, I thought you meant... Yeah, that's the totality.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's funny even without the homophobia.
Yeah, so legitimate like miscommunication in a relationship.
In a humorous fashion.
Also, FYI, bitch, I bought a really nice blanket yesterday, and bitches is wrapped up in it like a burrito.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's red, and it's a sheep inside, but it's a fake sheep inside, so I can still love it.
Yeah, it's got that fuzzy Sherpa on one side, and it's got that pseudo wool on the other side. And it's a king size, guys. I fucking splurged.
I could be wrapped in it 3 times and still have extra.
I'm not gonna lie, we may try to use it for soundproofing by like making a fort with it and just recording under it at some point. And this is me once again saying that, guys, I'm trying to figure out a way to make us sound better. I'm really trying.
Can we call it Blanket Fort Studios?
Sure. Should I go trademark that? Make an LLC?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so, French maid's outfit. They go to the bar, and Warren notices his ex-girlfriend, and she looks like, this is a nice-ass bar.
Yeah.
She looks really well put together for someone on a college budget.
She might have been a little older.
Think so?
Or maybe just successful. Maybe she's not in college. Maybe she just has money.
Okay.
And but also, Warren seems to be not, in college either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I clearly think he would drop out after the kerfuffle with the machine.
Yeah.
So, and then he decides instead of finding some poor girl to rape, he's going to fight with his ex-girlfriend, and then he decides to rape her with the stupid fucking ball bearing.
Yeah.
Which wears off in the middle of their thing.
Thank God. But also, how awful would it be to wake up, face level with your ex-boyfriend's junk dressed as a maid and then be murdered? Seriously?
I was with you until you said, and then be murdered.
Yeah.
Because that has happened to me.
You wake up out of a daze with your ex.
Wake up with my face in an ex's crotch dressed as a French maid. That is actually a thing that has happened to me.
Wow.
So.
Well, you were dressed as a French maid?
I was dressed as a French maid, yes.
Wow. I
was not wearing that stupid-ass Party City costume.
No, yours was classy.
Yes.
Wow. I'm so proud of you, man.
He liked cross-dressing.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yeah, and you know how I am, so...
Yeah, you don't do anything halfway.
Well, I also like pushing buttons. So.
Yeah, it's true, you do.
I like having that thing, so, haha, I can give you a boner.
Okay. Yeah, huh.
So.
Wow. No, wow, there's a world of shiny new toys. Anyway, so, yeah, this whole episode, man.
Yeah.
I think we've, sporadically somehow covered most of it. I don't care, though, because it feels icky, and I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. So, let's move on to the birthday party. So, it's Buffy's birthday again, which I think is happening at a different time of year every year.
I don't keep much track because I don't care. There will be a birthday episode. There's nothing I can do to stop it.
Yeah. So they're having a birthday, but let's stop it. I did not recognize Halfrig, though, as the counselor.
Oh. I have something to tell you that's not even a spoiler because all of the clues are there.
Okay.
But I never figured it out until this watch through. Okay. So, but we have to do it at the end.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, no, I always recognize that as Halfrig. Even my first watch through is Hey, wait a minute. That looks like a cleaned up version of Anya's friend.
Yeah.
Aw, fuck.
Also, a school guidance counselor is the best place for a vengeance demon to be.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
Right. Or a justice demon. Sorry.
Yeah, don't want to besmirch them.
I mean,
Might show up.
Don't dead name them.
Yeah.
What's the word for dead naming when you're, like, calling a group of people by a word they don't want to be called?
Asshole?
I feel like there's a formal word for it.
Huh. I don't know, but I'm going to go with asshole for right now.
Guys, why don't you tell us the answer by writing us a review?
Yeah, that's great.
Or maybe setting it as your Patreon name when you sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/unspoiled.
Yeah.
Unspoiled is a listener-funded network. Support us by becoming a patron at patreon.com/unspoiled and get access to exclusive content and additional bonuses. Or you can shop on Amazon at unspoiledpodcast.com/Amazon.
Moony, wormtail, padfoot, and prongs.
Prongs. What has prongs? All I can think of is a lobster. That's not a good animal to turn into.
And who brought us here, John? The island.
In this episode, an awful lot for a model airplane. What the fuck, Kate? Welcome to Unspoiled, the Constant.
You're the Slayer, and we're like the Slayerettes.
I'm so into this outfit just because I have had enough khaki camel toe with this show for the rest of my life.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
What do his guards do as he is murdered? A. Anything. B. Nothing. Unspoiled. Experience your favorites again for the first time.
Yeah, so I'll bet she gets a lot of business doing there.
Yeah. And they say toward the end of the episode that her thing is, children in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's her special hobby horse.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, I see where you're coming from, but also children are not the best judges of justice.
No, they're not the best judges of justice, and they're not the best judges of pain.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember being, like, spitting mad because my parents decided to make peanut butter cupcakes instead of a kind of cupcake that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, seriously, I would have killed them.
Yeah, but I feel like that's displaced pain over something else, and you're focusing on the peanut butter cupcakes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my parents were fucked up.
Right, so I don't feel like I feel like the pain there is legit, and even if the kid can't really identify the source, it's just the wish part is what I think is going to be misdirected, like it is here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a weird hellscape right there.
So they've just, this was a weird-ass demon who gets sucked in by his own sword.
Well, he goes into it to recharge.
Yeah. Which is stupid.
Hiding's fun.
Yeah, so Buffy picks up... I was very confused by the editing here. Because, like, when she bends down to pick up the sword and then she stands up, it looked like they were trying to show that there were two Buffys, so I'm like, did he change into Buffy face? No. I just got super confused as to what was going on here.
I rewatched it, that particular scene, because you were so confused by it, and on the rewatch, it wasn't really confusing. She just stands up and kind of, like, looks at the shiny sword and goes, huh. Because usually, Buffy does leave her foe's weapons in the field.
Yeah.
Unless they're, like, super nice. This sword must be super nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a sword? You have a sword.
I've got a sword.
This sword is not super nice.
It is not.
It's fine. It's not a bad sword. It's just not, like, flashy. It's utilitarian.
Yep. And it has been used against a burglar, but not by me.
It's very light, too.
Yeah, it's a good sword for me because I'm super weak. But, yeah. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So, Where were we? Yeah, so she fights this demon, which will come back later, and then the party is happening. So we have Xander and Anya, and Dawn is at the party, of course. Willow is there. Is Tara... Oh, there's a whole thing where they're like, we want Tara to come, and we don't want Willow to be weird about it.
So they do the adult thing and talk to Willow about it, and then Willow is given the ability to say no, or to, figure out what headspace she's going to be in for this and properly prepare for it. It was honestly really good communication by everyone.
And it was a good trigger warning for Willow.
Yeah.
So Tara is there. And Spike is coming, and he brings a demon friend, as well as another woman.
What?
There was a woman there that had 0 lines that was just kind of there.
I don't think Spike brought her.
Who brought her?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't even know she was a thing.
And Xander and Anya, yeah, she had brown hair and glasses.
I think you made her up.
I seriously didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to bet you.
I don't want to bet you. You probably didn't make her up. It's just fun to say you did.
Okay, because I was super confused why she played no part in the plot whatsoever.
Sometimes people are just at parties, Tex.
I know. But, yeah, and then there's... they bring a date for Buffy.
Yeah.
Who's actually kind of cute in a kind of frat boy way.
Yeah, he's, he's like a pile of cookie dough, I guess. Like, he's like, okay, you're sweet, but that's about it.
He's legitimately nice, too. And, yeah, so...
Okay.
He listens.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more than most men on a first date.
That's fair.
So, yeah, he's not intimidated by how powerful she is.
He doesn't know how powerful she is. As far as he knows, she works at the Double Meat Palace.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't show off any feats of strength.
Well, eventually she did, but,
Right. So, the curse kicks in, and then, it's time to open presents.
Oh.
I want you to talk about the presents.
Okay, so Buffy got a leather coat from Dawn that was obviously stolen because it still had the tag on it.
Yeah.
And
it didn't have the tag, it had the anti-shoplifting.
Yeah, the anti-shoplifting thing.
Uh-huh.
That's also called a tag. It's a security tag.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. What were the other presents?
The only other present I remember is the weapons chest.
Oh yeah, Xander hand.
God, Xander, how the fuck are you this good at being a together ass adult? Like a whole ass adult.
That's a great present.
That's an amazing gift. And I kind of want one. I don't even have any weapons to put in it.
It was a pretty piece of furniture. And probably sturdy, because he knows how often things get destroyed in that house.
Yeah.
I bet he made it out of oak.
It was too light to be oak.
Fine. Destroy my dreams.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong about wood.
You're taking me way too seriously tonight.
Okay, yeah, and so there's an incident where Dawn, oh, that doesn't happen yet. I was talking about when they discover her jewelry pile.
Yeah, but this is our first hint that Dawn's shoplifting might be discovered. And they have laid out that Dawn's been shoplifting for 5 or 6 episodes now. Dawn's shoplifting played parts in Once More with Feeling and everything.
Yeah, it didn't care, though. Dawn, you're not interesting enough to have a problem like this.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's a normal 15-year-old girl problem. I mean, we all knew the kid that stole. Some of us were the kid that stole.
More side-eye. More side-eye.
I was not the kid that stole.
I was.
Oh, I'm sure you were the kid that stole.
My thing was, I'd go to the supermarket and just, whatever I needed, a glue stick, I'd take it out of the package and leave it there. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just taunted them.
I needed a glue stick. I didn't have any cash.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm not judging. It's glue.
I did have a friend who stole a lot from Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I kind of can't blame her. Because the jewels at the Pirates of the Caribbean shop, those little plastic jewels,
yeah,
they were really pretty.
Yeah.
And they were
There's
like
no reason
$4 each.
Yeah, there is no reason to pay
And
that
she got
much.
2 handfuls and she gave me one. And I was like, oh, cool. And they made the most amazing cat toys because they were so loud.
Oh.
Yeah, and the cats would bat them around all the time, and they slid really well on wood because they were polished plastic.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, and like rocks are too heavy; they don't go as far.
Now I need a cat.
Yes.
And a handful of jewels.
A handful of plastic jewels.
We're doing this.
We can go to Disneyland. You want to try and recreate this? Do they still sell those? I don't think they do.
Oh yeah, they do. I know right where that pile of fake jewels is.
Oh God. I want to fill a bathtub with them.
That's probably a terrible plan.
It probably is, but I'm going to do it anyway.
It'd be so pointy.
Yeah. So, where the fuck were we? Shoplifting.
Shoplifting. But we're not there yet. So.
But I called this when we were watching the Brexit party, because they're like, I'm going to leave, but I'm not leaving. I should leave right now. I'm so angry I'm going to leave, but no.
We've got a shift. Nah.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're just gonna hang.
So they just can't leave, and they're all sitting around in broad-ass daylight, just being in each other's company and not enjoying themselves, which sounds a lot like a birthday party when you're 22.
Yeah, wow.
And they can't drink, and they can't do magic.
And everything's boring.
Uh-huh.
But Dawn's super happy because she's not alone. Bullshit. I'm sorry. When I was 15, I wanted nothing to do with anyone.
Right.
I wanted so badly to be alone.
And it's... Dawn's abandonment issues, there's only one person in the room that I really feel she would have this issue with. And that's Tara.
Yeah. But because Tara's still gone, she's kind of getting the special pass. And I think Dawn actually sees why Tara had to go.
I mean, I've never had abandonment issues like this, so I don't know, but I feel like Buffy dying for Dawn would be a very big signal that Buffy's not going anywhere, and she wouldn't worry about that.
Oh, that would be perfectly true if Buffy was here right now. But she's not. She's never home. She doesn't spend time with Dawn. She doesn't take care of Dawn. Dawn's kind of a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
Because Tara was the one that took care of her.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's
got her own shit to deal with.
Willow's being a friend of Bob. Tara's gone. It's Buffy's job to, check in and make sure the 15-year-old, is doing stuff and taking care of and fed. And Buffy's just not doing it. Buffy's spending her time riding Spike's dick.
Right. That's... yeah. So... yeah, that's I guess it does make sense. I'm just not caring about Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn's super boring and we all hate her, and we've always hated her.
Okay.
And that's okay. But, so, pretty much that's the plot. They angst about why they can't go out. They try to figure out why they can't go out. And then a demon pops out of a sword and, fucks some shit up and accidentally stabs Buffy's date.
Yeah. And he didn't die. I'm shocked.
He did not, because, he should have. I think Joss Whedon has a weird relationship with gut wounds, because he keeps stabbing people in the guts, and you don't come back from that. There's too much bacteria in your guts that if it gets into the rest of your abdomen, you will die.
Yeah.
You'll get sepsis and die. Fast.
You need to get to the fucking hospital. So.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm.
In minutes. But yeah.
No, you've got more time than that, but...
Okay, it's a slow, painful death, but once it gets past a certain point, you can't do shit about it.
Yeah.
Once there's enough bacteria in there, you're fucked.
But we're also assuming Tara doesn't know any healing spells.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she didn't have any of the stuff she needed to do healing spells. You need stuff.
Okay.
There's supplies involved. Everything's potions in this world.
Willow did hoard some supplies.
She did hoard some supplies, but we don't get to know that until he's been gut wounded for a really long time.
Right. And Anya, of course, is the only one who has any idea what the fuck is going on.
Well, she's the only one who is pushing really, really hard for them to get out. She actually has no idea what the fuck's going on. She doesn't figure it out until Buffy figures out that it was a vengeance demon.
Right. A justice demon.
You know what? I don't have to be woke about imaginary...
Halfrig is my favorite character in this episode. I am going to listen to what she has to say.
Oh. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, they fight the demon because he comes out of the sword. Yeah. There's not much to say about that.
Yeah, there's not really much to say about a lot of this episode other than, it was super confusing for them. It
was super confusing for me because there were a lot of people in the house and a lot of extra people who played no part.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, where the fuck is everyone? We learn about Dawn's shoplifting thing when they find all the jewelry, including a lot of stuff from the magic shop.
When Anya goes all crazy looking through Dawn's stuff because she thinks Dawn knows something.
Dawn doesn't know something.
To be fair, it was Dawn's fault.
It was Dawn's fault, but Dawn does not know things, so...
Well, she's kind of an idiot.
Yeah. So, how does Anya end up figuring it out?
Oh, because Buffy and Dawn are having a heart-to-heart about Dawn's abandonment issues, and Dawn says, yeah, that's just what the guidance counselor said, and Buffy's like, what? Wait a minute, new person in my teenage sister's life who happens to be one of those people that they confess their innermost thoughts to? Yeah. And she asks her, is like, did you happen to make maybe a wish? And then Dawn clues in, is like, holy shit, I wish that everyone wouldn't leave. And then, then Anya puts name to Justice Demon, and she manifests.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how that happened.
And then that's how you get the curse lifted, because Halfrig finds herself stuck in the house.
Which is classic.
That was
love
kinda
that
cute.
they threw that in. That was amazing. Okay, so when Halfrig manifests, she and Spike see each other, and they exchange a look.
Yeah.
And then they pretend like... And she calls him William.
Yeah.
What do you think happened there?
I think Spike has invoked her in the past. But no, this was not a look of someone. This was not a transactional look. This was a look of someone like, we do not want. Both of them were like, we do not want our relationship acknowledged here, because Halford doesn't give a shit. She'd be like, oh, hey, William, how'd that curse on your family go?
Yeah.
So
it's not going to be answered in the rest of the series. It's something that happened in the past. Do you want to know?
So it's something that happened in the past, and how do we know what happened?
I never put the pieces together until now.
Okay.
So you remember the episode where we see how Spike was made?
Yeah.
You remember he was mooning over some girl and writing poetry about her?
Yeah. That's her?
That's her.
Really?
Halfrick was in the guise of a human woman named Cecily working the Vengeance Justice gig. And William fell in love with her and was writing her bad poetry, so she crushed him with some words. And then he went out and met Drusilla in an alley and got made a vampire.
So is he a vampire because of her curse?
No, she didn't curse him. The words she used weren't curse magic. They were just dismissive.
See, this is why I want the Anya podcast. Just...
It's like, oh, ladies, you don't have to use magic to crush a man's soul.
The same, I had another friend who's a vengeance demon, and the same woman who cursed Odysseus also, like, made Louis the 15th afraid of baths. Just, like, that kind of shit.
Yeah, okay. It's fair. But yeah, that would be super fun. But that's what was going on there. He recognized her as like, oh shit, that's Cecily, that bitch I was in love with when I was a human. And she was like, oh shit, that's William the Bloody Awful Poet, but he's all a vampire now and different, and we're not going to talk about this.
But Anya has exposited to us that you have to be human before you become that particular brand of justice demon.
Yes.
So do we know that she was a demon at that point, or did she just have her own journey of becoming demon?
Cecily and Anya, or not Cecily,
Hallfrick.
Hallfrick and Anya are old friends.
Yeah.
Hallfrick's name suggests that she is at least 1,000 years old.
Okay.
And I don't think Anya could have an old friend that was less than 200 years they've known each other.
That's fair.
And Spike's only been a vampire for like a century.
100 and change.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I want to go look at the IMDb, but I can't. To see.
It's the same actress.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I checked.
All right.
I knew you would want to know.
I know, and I can't look because it'll have trivia.
Same actress, better hair.
Trivia, when she kills Spike in the very last finale of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, guys, this is a short episode because, like, I liked the second one, but it's just, like, it was kind of chaotic. And a lot of it was fighting, which is hard to talk about on a podcast.
Yeah, a lot of it was action sequences.
And the first one I'm just grossed out by, and I don't want to spend any more time on it. So.
Yeah, it makes me feel dirty, and I don't want to feel dirty, guys.
Do you want to know how to feel less dirty?
How?
Boysenberry pie.
I love you.
Okay. So, but you know what? Since we have extra time, we're going to read some new patrons. All right, guys, I'm going to state up front that it's been a long time since we've read patrons, so I'm having a little difficulty pegging exactly where we stopped last time. So if I missed you, please write us a review and tell me about it, and I will reach you out. All right.
God, I sound like a seal.
We have a lot of you guys to read. Let's see. We have 92.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Points.
Maya Gray, Amy Wisman, Genevieve Cairns, John Chamberlain, Caitlin L., Susanna Sherman, Maria. Juliana Sabo is in here twice.
Maybe she gave twice.
Alicia.
Juliana.
Oh, shit. You know what?
What?
I am seeing some of you assholes have... Sorry. I know you have your reasons, but some of you have stopped being patrons. So, I am filtering those out, and now we only have... I can't tell. Alicia Taylor, Neon Fitzpatrick, I'm sorry about butchering her name, Logan Welp, Samantha Floyd, Claire Wingate, Heather O, Rowan, Annalena E, Jessica Palomba, Anatot Gooley, okay, Solvig Widener, Diana Paolo, Michael Mulan, Nicole Williams, Mac, Mia, Christine Chan, Joaquin Berg, Joanna Antilla, Maxime Shrivers, MDPH, Haley Reeves, Tanya Louise Skoldumer, Miranda Reese, Erica Peters, Laurel Amster, Kleiner Monschein, sorry, you're clearly from Germany, or Austria, Amanda Schleckner, Joseph Rayfield, Callie Weaver, Mays, Steve Whirls, Nate Failing, Martha Crum, Bryce Reed, Juliet, Jasmine Jones, Dave, Zachary Erskine, Doug Ham, Amanda Farlinger, Caitlin Stubberfield, Gessa K, Ariana Zito Wolf, Rebecca Dolph, Rion Robinson, Sam Welty, Sean D, Rachel Jimenez, Jerry Nichols, Diana Murray, Ann Thomas, Richard Humphreys, Beth McIsaac, Hannah Pelmus, Pillow Knife, Megan Keebler, Julia Vital. What?
Pillow Knife?
Pillow Knife. Okay. That's a thing.
Good for you, buddy.
Sure. Christine Stewart, Jesse Dittman, Amy Cobb, Christina Griffin, Friedrich Nielsen, Aaron Stringfellow, Sophie Tyrrell, Nikki Morton, Daniel Bolland, Saad Al-Asaf, Marcy Mangum, Miana, Agnete Kofod, sorry. God, Jesuini Adeleke. God, guys, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not good at reading names for the first time because they could be from anywhere.
You're doing great,
Mike
buddy.
Rubio, Morgan Peters, and Robert Metcalf. So, wow. Okay, so we finally got that done. We're sorry for skipping you guys. Just shit has been crazy, and we were in the car, and yeah. So, thanks for joining. Make sure you join the Patrons Only group where we do memes like add fuck to any movie line.
I think you won that one, and I think I got a close second.
Why? I don't play to win. I just played for fun.
Oh, I played to win.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We're really hungry, and girlfriend's going to be home soon, so they probably want to go fuck. So,
her mouth to God's ears.
Good night, y'all.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.